Hi guys, today I have the game, and the game is not from Alexander Alohin or Garry Kasparov, so that's my game, and the topic is the knight on the room is dim. Okay, let us have a look. We played King's Indian defense, g3, d6, bishop d2, fianchetto variation, castle, knight f3, c5. So my opponent decided to play Yugoslavian variation. I played castle, knight c6, put more pressure on d-pawn, so I need to move d5, and knight e5. That is quite okay, quite sharp and good theoretical variation, but knight on e5 is quite far from the king side, and the problem of the block in this variation, exact this knight, if they will not be very active, very aggressive, yes, to combine with their attack on the queen side with tactical ideas and exploit the center also. So because of this knight they probably will lose the game even. So if you play this variation you need to be very careful and you need to be very active. This variation is very good for the black, but make sure you understand you cannot waste a time or tempo. You need to be very aggressive here. Okay, I played knight d2. This is all theory. I protect c4 pawn, bishop d7, queen c2. It's also okay. I cannot play b3 immediately to develop this bishop because I will get something like knight d5, and my opponent can use hanging pieces and the pin. So I need to prepare b3, first queen c2, and actually move b4. When my opponent moved to bishop d7, that is already a small mistake, because even not a small, yes, if we move deeper. And why? Because this bishop can move to d7, f5 and g4. This bishop have different options, and what is very important, bishop on c8 and in King's Indian, usually the best place for this bishop is a square c8. Yes, this bishop very well stayed here, but black anyhow need to put their rook on square b8. Because this rook can't choose another square. Black has idea to play a6, b5, open b file, and they have counterplay on the b file. So if they they should not move this bishop, because this bishop can stay on c8 or it can be developed on f5 or g4. But rook doesn't have another place. Rook must stay on b8. That is not big mistake actually, but if we understand deeper, that is big mistake. Okay, bishop d7, queen c2, a6, b3, b5, everything is okay. Yes, but if rook stay on b8 is much better than if bishop stay on d7. Bishop b2, queen b6. Queen b6 is already mistake. And why? Because black must open b file, but if they open b file, rook will be on b1, and rook will stay on one file with the queen. So black automatically with this move lose the tempo, because they need to play after that queen c7. They cannot keep queen on one file with the rook. So I played rook b1, and now queen, if b5 will be opened like bc bc, rook stay in one file in with the queen. But if not, if b5 will not be opened, black doesn't have any counterplay, because everything black can do is on the b file. b4. That is big mistake. That is already a huge mistake from the black, because let's have a look on this position. Black need to play BC, and their idea, they can put more pressure on c4 pawn. Like it can be like rook b8, rook b4, maybe sometimes knight g4, knight e5, rook b8, rook b4. They have some counterplay here, and they have b5 to attack. But imagine now, they also have all that idea with rook b8, rook b2. Yes, sacrifice their quality here. That's very important idea in this variation. But queen on b6 is already bad. But instead of this, my opponent played b4, and only one counterplay after that is to open an a file. But now let us compare. Black easy could attack c4 pawn. And now imagine black play a5, a4, after that a takes b, and how can they attack pawn b3? No way. And even if they create a locking gun on a file, white easy can defend their position. And that is too slow, because now white can attack king side very quick. They have a piece in advantage. They can checkmate, because knight on a5 cannot do anything. Okay, here I had interesting options, like because my plan is attack the king. Yes, when I'm attacking the king, I don't want to trade pieces, like I don't want to trade knight on f6 and bishop on g7. Sorry, I cannot show it, but okay. Actually, I don't want to trade pieces in general here if I attack the king. That is one right understanding. But by another hand, I want to trade knight on f6 and bishop on g7, because they are king defenders. And here I had idea with knight d1, a knight will move to e3, yes, and from e3 it can also quickly attack king side, and knight e4 with idea to trade knight and bishop and attack king quicker. Both of ideas is right. Which is better? I decided to trade pieces which will protect the king. Yes, but engine said that is equal with knight d1 and attack the king with all pieces. Okay. So remember, when you are attacking the king, you don't want to trade pieces, but you want to trade pieces which will protect the king. So here is a very interesting question: which idea is better? I decided to trade pieces which are protecting the king immediately. So I moved knight e4, knight takes e4, knight takes e4. Knight b7, black wants to open a file, and they also want somehow try to bring their knight back, but there is no way to bring knight back. It will stay here till the end of the game. And I played f4. I need to attack the king immediately. I don't need to yes, one of idea I need to attack f4, f5. Another idea I need to attack h4, h5. As an option, I could trade bishops immediately, but I don't think my opponent want to play f6, and this bishop will become a pawn. Yes. Okay, he played bishop f5, and again, look, his bishop make a second move from d7 to f5, and yeah, that is the pin, but my pawns is unstoppable. I will anyhow move pawns. So this bishop, this pin is not dangerous because he cannot bring more pressure on this knight. I already protect this with two pieces, and I want to move my pawns on the king side in order to checkmate. So this bishop anyhow will be under the tempo. Like if I, an example, play h3 with idea g4, he can prevent g4 only with move h5, but h5 will make the king weak. So if you want to keep your king in safe, it's better do not move pawns from the king. And it's if he moves h5, he cannot prevent g4. I even can sacrifice pawn, immediately play g4. But yeah. So so again, this bishop will lose the tempo. That is also a big mistake. Here I calculated and decided immediately open g file. I did not play h3, I didn't want to lose the time. I decided to open g file immediately because I want to attack the king, and open file will support me a lot. I decided to sacrifice my pawn. I calculated like I have strong enough attack here, and yes, I have a lot of compensation, and I don't wait till my opponent has some counterplay with a5, f4 even, so it's not strong counterplay on a file. But if I need to do any defending moves, it will take time, and when I defend my position, I do prophylactic move or something like that, I cannot checkmate. So I decided I need to checkmate immediately. Knight on b7 give me piece in advantage. So remember, if you have some piece like knight on e5 or b7, you need to attack the king, and you play like you have advantage piece. So you need to be very aggressive. g4, bishop g4, and f5. I sacrifice second pawn. That is actually miscalculation, because I calculated all the variations with bishop takes 5. Yes, and what I calculated was a very powerful attack. That was right, but recent time I pay a lot of attention to the accuracy. Accuracy is move ordering, when how to correct calculate, exact calculate, how to see all the defenses from the opponent, and this time I miscalculated, because what did I calculate was perfect, but if my opponent change order, move order, my opponent can get equal position here. Bishop f5, rook takes f5, so I sacrificed 2 pawns and quality here. That's very good. That's very good sacrifice, but I calculated only g takes f as was in the game. But here black has amazing opportunity with bishop takes b4. Yes, and if bishop takes b4, that is changed a lot comparing with what was in the game. Now after rook takes b4, t takes f, knight g5, is this position is okay for the black, it's not losing position. After f6, knight e6, black still can protect their position with king h8 to sacrifice back and sacrifice back their quality and put their pieces on g5, like knight f8, rook f8, queen f5, rook g8, and put pressure on the pinned piece. King h1 an example, and the pieces move back, like bishop e4, rook g7. And an example, something like h3, queen move to g8, rook g2, rook g2, bishop g2, and then evaluate this position. Yes, black has pawn in advantage, but white pieces is more active, and evaluate this position as equal. So if my opponent calculate a little better and change move orders and see this move orders, like don't take the rook, yes, as it was, but take the bishop. After that take the rook. It will be everything okay. G takes f. That is the blunder said engine. Knight g5, and now there is no bishop b2 because I simply take queen f5 and I will checkmate. An example, bishop d4, king h1, and queen h7 unavoidable, like an example if rook move to somewhere, no matter queen h7 or queen f7 and queen f7 checkmate. Okay, but yes, in this situation I could sacrifice a lot of material, like I sacrificed a rook and 2 pawns. That's quite good. Okay, but my opponent, another best options is e6, but after d takes e, f takes e, bishop g7, king g7, white can get material back. Yes, cannot move like king h8 because queen b2, so king need to go to the center, and white has powerful attack with and they sacrificed only pawn. The bishop much stronger than the knight. Bishop is much more powerful, and they have strong attack, and of course they will get pawns like back and like they can win a 5 or 7 pawn, and they have bishop against knight, so probably they will win this position because yes, h pawn, and this knight still cannot do anything. Yes, and d5 square, so this is very good position for the black, oh, for the white, sorry. Okay, e6, h6, that is the blunder. f6 also not better because in this situation after knight e6 we save bishops, and this bishop is cannot do anything. Yeah, like f6, simply knight e6 and queen f5 and bishop e4, so it's very powerful attack. Okay, g takes f9, g5, h6 is blunder. Now white can sacrifice one more piece. That is amazing, and they can checkmate. Queen f5. Look at this knight and this rook. They still don't play. They cannot. And this queen also. Both moves like queen b6 and knight on a5. That is. They still there till the end of the game. hg. Otherwise, queen h7 checkmate. Bring bishop to the attack. Rook b8. And here is the best move, the quickest move, bishop g7 to checkmate. I just calculated there was checkmate, and I decided to take bishop g7, and here is forced checkmate very quick. I played forced checkmate because I did not. Yeah, here is checkmate f2, rook f3, and rook d3. Yes, but I just calculated forced checkmate, and I don't want my opponent has a chance to move somewhere. To create some moves, but in this situation, of course, there wasn't anything. But that is just habit. If we can force checkmate, so we don't give opponent any chance, because sometimes there are, not sometimes, oftenly there will be something incredible, and the opponent can find some interference, and and it will, and we can get a draw, or we even can lose the game. Okay, So that is quite good example. Good example of bad knight on the a5. Like when the knight on the rim, yes, is dim, and when the knight is far away from the king, yes, it cannot protect the king. So queen also far away from the king. That is very good example to understand how we can, how should not we play, and how can we use inactive pieces and bad pieces of our opponent. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you could enjoy and get some new points. Wish you all keep growing in chess. Bye bye.